Hi everyone, welcome to Cocinando con los Iwits. Today I'm going to show you how I make this delicious pozole rojo, red pozole that you are just going to love. Okay, let's start. These are the ingredients that we're going to need to make this delicious red pozole rojo. The first ingredients that we're going to need to cook our meat is 1 head of garlic, 1 onion, 6 bay leaves, 2 spoons of chicken bouillon, neck bones. I have here around 2 pounds, 2 pounds of ribs, and 2 pounds of pork shoulder. And it's important that you have some meat with bones because that's what is gonna give a delicious flavor to the broth. Traditionally, you use like head, the ears, the head of the pork, and that's what it gets, like gives it that delicious flavor. But in this occasion, I'm just gonna use this meat, and we are gonna use a big can of hominy. This one is already cooked, it's already soft. We're just gonna rinse it and cook it with the meat. For the red sauce that is gonna make the red pozole, we're gonna use 20 guajillo chili pods. We're gonna use half an onion, and we're gonna use a spoon of oregano. Okay, let's start with the first step, which is to start cooking our meat. Okay, I have a big pot where everything is gonna fit, and this pozole is gonna be enough for around 10 to 15 people. And I put half of the pot, which is around a gallon or a little bit more of water, and I'm just gonna add all the meat and the onion, the bay leaves, and the chicken bouillon and the garlic, and then we're gonna start cooking our meat. Okay, I added all the meat to my pot, and I was going to say you can either cut the meat in little pieces before you put it in the pot, or you can actually leave the big pieces and then shred it later. I'm just gonna put it like this size. Now we're gonna add the chicken bouillon, the onion, the bay leaves, and the garlic. I just sliced the onion in half and cut at the bottom a little bit. And the garlic, I just cut the bottom too, so we don't have those fibers in our soup. And I'm just gonna add all the ingredients to the meat. I added all the other ingredients to the broth, to the meat. Now I'm gonna turn on my stove in high heat, and I'm gonna let it boil. And when it starts boiling, I'm gonna lower the heat to medium high, and I'm gonna let it simmer for 1 hour. So we're gonna wait until it's been cooking for 1 hour before we add the other ingredients. While we're cooking the meat for an hour, we are going to start cleaning our dried peppers, guajillo chili pads, and we're gonna remove all the seeds and the veins, and then we're gonna rinse them and put them in hot water for around 30 minutes before we blend them. If you are sensitive to peppers, to the spiciness, wear gloves. Make sure you wear gloves before you start cleaning your peppers, but we're just gonna devein them, clean them, and put them in a container, rinse them, and then soak them in hot water for around half an hour. Okay, I remove all the seeds, or almost all the seeds from my peppers, and I devein them. Now I'm gonna rinse them. Don't forget to rinse them. They have like dirt from where they came from, so rinse them so all the dirt, the stuff that is on them comes out before you soak them in hot water. Okay, after we rinse the chili pads, I have them here with hot water. You can see it's steaming, and I'm just gonna let them soak for 30 minutes. While we are waiting for the peppers to soak for 30 minutes and the meat is still cooking for an hour, we are going to just rinse the water from the hominy and just rinse it with clean water. I'm rinsing the hominy, and since this is pre-cooked hominy, it's super soft. You can remove the little heads of the hominy if you want. Sometimes I remove them, sometimes I leave them. But this hominy doesn't need to cook for a long time, like if it was the fresh corn maize, because it's already pre-cooked, so it's super soft already. Okay, the peppers have been soaking for at least 30 minutes. Now we're gonna blend the salsa to make our pozole rojo. I have all the peppers in the blender. Now I'm gonna add the half an onion and I'm gonna add the oregano. A lot of people like to add the oregano to the broth when they're cooking the broth, but I like to blend it with my salsa, so I just add it to the blender. Okay, let's blend this salsa. Okay, to blend this sauce, we're gonna add around half a cup of the same liquid where we soak the peppers to blend it. Okay, we blended the sauce until it was completely smooth. This is the texture. And now we are going to strain the sauce just to make sure that it doesn't have any of the big pieces of pepper. But if you have a good blender, you don't need to strain it. It's up to you. But I like to strain my sauce just in case it has like a big pieces of pepper or pulp in it. As you can see, I have some pulp left, not a lot, which is good. That means my blender blends it so smoothly. And as you can see, we have the smooth sauce right here. And if you like some of the skin of the peppers in your pozole, you can just put it in like that. But I like to just like strain it. Okay, the sauce is ready. Okay, it's been an hour. I'm gonna lower the heat all the way when I open it. And the meat has been here cooking for an hour. And now the next step is, if your broth has a lot of like foam on the top, you just remove it with a spoon. Mine doesn't have any, so I'm not gonna have to remove it. Now we are gonna add the hominy, and then we are going to add the red sauce. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we're gonna add the hominy that we had drained and rinsed already. I'm just gonna add it to my pot carefully, don't get burned. I added the hominy, I'm just gonna mix it. We're gonna add the red sauce to the broth, and remember that we already strained the sauce, so we're just gonna add it to the broth. Added all the sauce, so now I'm just gonna mix it. So all the sauce mix everywhere. At this point, I'm gonna find the onion and the garlic, and I'm just gonna remove it and take it out. All the flavor of the onion and the garlic already came out, so we don't need to have it there. So I'm gonna take out the onion, the garlic, and the bay leaves if I can find them. If not, it's fine. And then we're gonna cover with the lid the pot again, and we're gonna let everything cook for 1 more hour. So the meat and the hominy is super tender. And also, this is the time when you taste the broth to see if it has enough salt for you. If it needs more salt, you can add salt or chicken bouillon. Okay, let's take out the onion and the garlic and the bay leaves, and let's let it boil again, cook for 1 hour. Okay, it's been 1 hour and our pozole, it's ready. Smells super delicious, and the meat is coming off the bones. So you can see it's super tender. At this point you can remove the bones, or you can remove the bones as you go. If your meat is too big, the pieces of meat, you can take it out in a container so you can shred the meat and have it ready, already shredded in the pozole when you make your plates. Okay, I'm just gonna find the meat and I'm gonna shred it in smaller pieces. Okay, I'm done shredding the meat. I don't like it in really small pieces, especially if I'm gonna put it back in the pot, because it's gonna come apart by itself when you add it back to the pot. So I just made like pieces not too small. And you have the option of putting it back in the pot and mixing it with all the broth, or to get it from here and add it to your plate as you make your plates. Okay, I added the meat that I shredded back in the pot and mixed it, and now we're gonna get our plate ready. Okay, we're getting our plate ready, and I'm gonna make this with everything, with hominy, with the neck bones, and with pieces of meat. Can't wait to eat it, so delicious. And our pozole is ready. Look how delicious it looks. I like to serve mine in a big bowl so I have more space to mix all the ingredients that we're gonna add. We are gonna add some toppings. If you don't like a lot of toppings and you like more pozole, you serve it this way. But I like it with a lot of toppings, and you can add whatever you like. The traditional for me is radish, cabbage, onion, avocado, chips, of course, and did I say lime? I think so. If you like oregano, you can add some oregano, serranos, and I make this delicious pozole salsa. It's super spicy, but I love spicy, and I have the recipe in my channel. So you add the toppings that you like. A lot of people use lettuce instead of cabbage. We always use cabbage, so that's what I'm using today. But if you like lettuce better, you can use lettuce. Okay, let's get this pozole ready. Okay, I added all my favorite ingredients to my pozole. These are the traditional ingredients that I use for my pozole. You can add as much as you want. And now we can start eating our delicious pozole. Enjoy, and don't forget to subscribe to Cocinando con los Diwits. And of course, we need to have some chips with it.